everybody, welcome back to another video from Vlogmas. So what I'm actually going to do for this video is it's going to be kind of separated a little bit. I actually recorded footage earlier in the week of me going to get this nameplate and everything, but I took footage of the old place that I used to like do a lot of showing at, and so I thought that you guys might be interested in seeing that as well, just because it's like unique, and I didn't record enough to actually be able to make it its own video. I had kind of planned on essentially like recording that in like a week vlog, and then by the time I remembered to like, you know, record more, then it was Thanksgiving, and then I was recording for the first day of Vlogmas, and then I was like in a Vlogmas, so I never recorded enough footage to get that to be a separate video. But I figured you guys might be interested. I'm gonna include that all at the beginning, and then we'll get into the actual day vlog thing. So I hope you guys enjoy. Well, good afternoon everybody. When was the last time we had a vlog? And if you can't tell, it's raining. Boo-hoo, Georgia. But it's been a long time since I've done a vlog, and today we are going to be going in town. I need to pick up a nameplate for a new horse that is moving in this weekend. So if you guys didn't know, pretty much I had this person who was interested in board, and they came like in the summertime to look at board. And then once I knew that I was going to be putting Sloan down, I had contacted them, and they were pretty much like the same day they wanted the stall. They had just been waiting for me to have the stall open. I honestly, as you guys might know, I wasn't really expecting that the stall was going to be opening up. Like, Sloan's occurrence, I'm going to talk about this in a separate video when I have like everything for sure. It wasn't necessarily like out of left field towards the end. Like, we all knew he was going to be being put down. I'm sorry guys, my windshield. But it was just like a couple months ago, I would have never told you that this was going to happen because he was so young. So once I had this stall open up, aka Sloan's stall, open up in its pasture space, I contacted her, she wanted it. So today I'm gonna drive kind of like, it's like 30 minutes away, and I'm gonna pick up the nameplate. And then as well, I have just a really busy week. I have all my Christmas customs going on. When I get inside, we're gonna go over all the Christmas stuff because I have somehow taken on a lot. Knotty Pony Black Friday sale is going to be this week because it is Tuesday. Thanksgiving, of course, is Thursday. And we don't really do a lot for holidays. Like, I see so many families who just do so much, but most of my family is not in Georgia. Like, of course, my parents, my brother, we are all in Georgia, but when it comes to outside of that, a lot of people are not in this state. And ever since I have opened the barn, I have really not been able to leave. So we used to celebrate Thanksgiving as like a big family, but nowadays, ever since the barn opened up, we can't, because I can't leave for a day. Like, I can't leave and stay somewhere overnight. And we did do the drive once to Charleston or Johns Island area for one day. We just drove up and then came back, and it was about like 6-ish hours up, and then we stayed for an hour or two, and then we turned around and drove 6 hours back. It was not fun, but I needed to get back in the same day, and we would only do that if we really had to do it because it was really stressful. I am the type of person that if I'm not driving the car, I get incredibly car sick. So spending that much time in a car in a day, I was throwing up everywhere. It was bad. So we don't really do a lot, but I still kind of try and spend Thanksgiving at least downstairs. I mean, we still have the barn. Pretty much any holiday is not really a holiday when you have a barn because we don't have any days off, and since my mother and me are the only people who take care of my barn, we don't have outside help. There's no day off from it. So Thanksgiving Friday, I actually have another person coming to my farm to look at board. And technically, with this new horse coming in this weekend, I am at my full max. Like, I don't really want another horse, but I feel really bad because this horse has been trying to get into my barn for a long time. And I have the stall open, but I don't have the perfect pasture set up for this horse. And I do have a spot that could work. I'm gonna have this person come, I'm gonna meet her. If I don't like the situation, then I'll just tell her she has to wait until I have another spot open up. But as I have to tell everybody, and as you guys might know, since my job is hospice and retirement, I only have a spot open up when something dies, as bad as that sounds. I pretty much have, since I switched to doing this field, which has been like 2 or 3 years, I don't have people leave. Like, they don't leave the barn because they love the barn. People beg to come to my place. But the only time I have a spot open is if something dies, and I can never tell people when that is going to happen unless I have a hospice horse come in and I know. And in this particular situation, this would be more of a hospice type horse. This is a horse that is in actual kidney and renal failure. So he's still healthy enough to the point where he can still kind of live out his life, but the likelihood is that he will continue to decline and probably have maybe 6-ish months. So my setup that I have could work for something short term, and I kind of feel bad. I feel bad for a lot of these people that have these type of horses, which is why I typically get them, is because of the fact that nobody else wants them. I'm pretty much the only person in this area that will knowingly take on these sick, old, dying horses, because people don't want to deal with having short-term boarders, or they don't want to deal with having horses that they will have to inevitably, it gets put down. You know, when we put down horses, I handle, you know, setting things up. I'm usually there the whole time for the whole procedure and everything. So a lot of people do not want those horses, and they're a lot of work when they are in the hospice stage, because usually these are horses that have to have lots of medications, vet appointments, all that type of stuff. So I have that person coming on Friday, and that will also be when the Knotty Pony Black Friday sale starts. And hopefully sometime this weekend, I'm hoping we can go get a Christmas tree. I don't know, guys. But first off, that's the road. I always tell people I have the longest driveway ever, so if I record and I'm driving, I'm going down the driveway. But I'm going to start driving to the place because I do have 3 orders of Knotty Pony that needs to be packed up, and I'm going to do that when I get back, and then hopefully finish one of the customs. I'll show you guys the 3 completed ones I have when I get back home. Alright guys, so it's actually 11:14 as you can see, and I think I'm going to go ahead and go to this Publix right here, because I'm looking at the time, and then with the fact that I'm going to be packing orders when I get home, it would just be easier for me to go to Publix and grab a sub. Guys, uncannily, Publix has the best vegan cookies ever. So we're gonna go see. But I got my sandwich, really basic. But we're gonna see if they have vegan chocolate chip cookies. They are addictive. It's raining. Try not to get hit in the Publix parking lot. It's hard. You guys know how I always say I wear black. It's literally all I wear. Good news, guys, they did have the vegan chocolate chip cookies. So this is taking longer than I thought, but I started counting the time and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to go home and pack orders. I'm not gonna get anything to eat. And I did treat myself. I got a Sprite, which if you guys didn't know, I used to be the biggest addict of Coca-Cola. And I pretty much no longer drink Coke. The only time I drink Coke is now if I'm at a market. I'll have a mini one. I can never finish a full soda anymore. But Sprite, I'm a little bit more, same thing. I maybe have it like 5 times a year, usually if I'm driving. So I am gonna head over and I'll update you later. So everyone, I'm gonna walk up to the place because I hate turning into this location from the road because it's abysmal. Like, it's a horrible left turn. I don't know if anyone else is this way, but I hate left turns, and I hate left turns on traffic, and I hate it when there's no designated turn lane and there's like 5 lanes I have to cross. So I just parked down here, and you know, funny enough, that is Will's Park, and that is where for the majority of my life I have spent every single weekend showing, training. Of course now I don't do that and I no longer ride, but that's where I spent 15 years of my life every weekend. But I'm walking up to this place. It's really cute. It's not a bad walk at all. I mean, it's raining and my feet are getting wet, but if I don't have to do that left turn, it's worth it. It really is. I've almost been hit too many times. So I'm gonna go get this nameplate. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys this way because I feel like it would be better. I got the nameplate. Look. Sorry, I got talking in there. I'm gonna get yelled at. There's no way I can pack all the words. I'm gonna try, guys. I'm gonna try. But look, that's where I used to show Sloan. Sloan threw me off in that ring right there. And it was a day like today, really wet. He threw me straight into a mud puddle. And the pictures and videos I have after that round, I was covered head to toe in mud and dirt. And then he proceeded to charge and attack a horse. It was really cute. But yeah, that's where, oops, sorry, it's not focusing. That's where I spent the better part of my life. The funny thing is I do not miss it. I tell people all the time, I do not miss my horse show days. It was very stressful and very hard work and not enjoyable. Now I will say, when I used to ride here and show here, they've done some improvements. Back when I was here, this place was, especially when I was younger, I mean, this new ring, I got to show on it a couple times, and these stands are new. But yeah, guys, that's our big showing area that I showed at forever and ever and ever. Will's Park. Woo! Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the vlog. Are you sick of me yet? We are heading over to my barn right now to pack a couple orders. And guys, look, oh my god, I haven't seen the sun in days. I didn't even know it could be sunny anymore. But it's supposed to be sunny today. I'm so happy. It is supposed to pour in a couple days though, so that's a little depressing. But I'm heading over to the barn. I got these 2 packages that I need to get labels on, and then last night I was able to make decent progress on one of the Christmas orders. Well, I almost got the dog done, but I realized I didn't have like dog noses or whatever, like, you know, the safety ones, I think is what it is. I typically just use felt, but I was like, okay, well, I need to just use those safety dog noses. So I ordered those. So I wasn't able to complete the dog, but the only thing I have left is like the head and to sew it on in the ears. Cats. Bumble's going to a room. So I have that almost done, which is great because that's a ship order. And then I got started on that wolf. That's the Madeline Mayco one to go with the fox. Okay, I didn't wear enough clothes. It's like 29. I got all the limbs done on that one. So all in all, we should be able to get that one completed today. And then that ship order can go out. I have a really crazy day today. So basically I'm gonna pack until 10. It's almost 9 o'clock. So I got an hour to just try and pack whatever we can. And then bring in the horses at, you know, the normal time, 11 something. My mom has to go and get shavings, so that's why we're gonna end early packing today, because it's supposed to rain again Friday. So I should add shavings to the stalls before it rains, because it always, whenever they have to stay inside, they just go through so much more shavings. So she's gonna do that. So we're gonna end packing earlier. When we end, I'll probably go over to my house and crochet and work on finishing up the wolf, because I should have that done today. And then I don't know, once I bring in the horses, if I'll come in here and pack by myself or if I'll go and crochet. I'm undecided. Packing in here is so much faster with my mom, I'll be honest, just because we have such a solid routine and know what to do. And then I have a vet appointment at 2 o'clock for Freya and 2 Bits, my own 2. And then 2 border horses are going to get looked at to get their teeth done. So that will probably take like 2 or 3 hours. And then after that, I should hopefully be back inside crocheting and try to get everything I can get done. But as you guys know, pretty much every day for me is just non-stop from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed. And whether that is, some days have a lot more horse stuff. Now granted, I don't have as much horse stuff like riding and whatnot, because I no longer ride after putting Sloan down. I'm not riding anymore, so I don't have that factor. But there are still days where like I just have a lot with the horse side of my life, the business and everything, or like helping out boarders, farrier appointments, all that type of stuff. So today is one of those days where we have vet appointments, all that good stuff. And so today I'm going to be starting with 138. We just said this the other day. 385. Orders go up to 407, I believe. So I'm hoping to get in the 90s today. And then everything at the latest should be done Friday. That's what I said. I was like, as long as we get everything done by Friday, I'm okay. I'm a little slower this time around, as you guys know, just with Christmas and the holidays and new horses and everything. But still, I feel like my shipping is really fast, and once I get through the bulk of the orders, then like, you know, things that come in afterwards will be back to being super fast, because I'll be, you know, not so behind. But I'm gonna get actually the 2 orders here, probably get their shipping labels done, and then my mother will be in here soon, and I'll start packing up these and see what we can get done in an hour, probably like 6. It honestly just depends on how big the orders are. If I get into like the really big ones, those always take a lot longer, because we have to prepare boxes and all that type of stuff. So it just depends. But let's get these orders out. If you guys ever wondered, I use Pirate Ship for all of my shipping. Whether it's plushies or whether it's Knotty Pony, I use Pirate Ship. Now Shopify has a setup where you can use FedEx, and I find that if I'm shipping like large plushies, or like not large plushies, large orders with Knotty Pony, sometimes FedEx is cheaper. But the problem is that Shopify always wants to give people my home address, which I just don't want everyone in the world to know where I live. So I do typically use Pirate Ship. Pirate Ship is USPS and then UPS, and that typically works out well, because like I can go to an UPS store and drop USPS, but I can't go to an UPS store and drop FedEx. So I do use Pirate Ship typically. I feel like the fees are all fine. I mean, it's one of those things that when you get to a certain size order, like honestly, there's nothing you can do to change the price. Like I know when I have an 18-pound box, like it's gonna be expensive either way, you know, so it's one of those things. But I use Pirate Ship. I've had no problem with them. Alrighty everybody, I am clocking out for today because it is 10:21. I'll probably come back up here, honestly, once I bring in for a couple minutes. But this is all we got packed today. I am down to 16 orders, and 3 of those orders are relatively small, so that's what I'm saying. I might, after I bring in, just come and knock them out, because they just have like 2, 4, 6, so easily could pack that up pretty quick. And then a lot of the other ones do get more so up there in the digits. So right now it's 10:22. Getting out later than I was hoping. I was really hoping to be out of here by 10 so I can make some good progress crocheting, but evidently that is not gonna happen today. So I'm gonna get my shoes on. I'm gonna grab my computer, because honestly, when you have these many packages, it is just way easier to drive the car up here and load them up, because yeah, I'm not carrying all those packages. You're crazy if you think I'm gonna do that. Don't worry guys, I have had a lot of people ask me about doing a barn kind of like update. Honestly, I'm just waiting for it to be sunny, and today is sunny, but I have so much going on, because as much as I want to do a barn update, I don't want to do it when my borders are around. Just because I do try and be like conscious that other people might not want to be on camera, and a lot of my borders are older, so I don't think the whole concept of being on camera is going to be beloved by them. So at some point I am going to do a like facility tour again. Technically you can find one from last year. During Vlogmas I did one last year, so you can't find that one, but I'll redo another one this year. Don't worry. See, this is how I wish winter was. It's cold, like it was 28 this morning, and there's just a gentle breeze. Not too breezy. It's sunny. Oh my gosh. If winter was like this, like I literally would have 0 problems with winter. My like #1 complaint with winter is always the rain, to be honest, and snow and ice, because if you live where I live, you do get snow sometimes, but the reality is like we get a lot of ice, and we just ain't built for that here. So then it's mass chaos, and I had to deal with it last year. It snowed and ice. It was horrible with the horses, because like they don't understand, and then they get scared of it, and then they get stuck inside, and it's disgusting when all that snow melts, and then the ground's disgusting. So they're still outside. I'm gonna go at least get a couple minutes of crochet and kind of get this fox going a bit better, and then we'll bring him in probably 20-30 minutes, and then see what else I can do before the vet comes, because that's going to be the big thing. That will take up a decent chunk of time today.
I got one extra for it.
Alrighty everybody, I'm heading out to get the last horse. Happy to update that turning in went better. Not perfect, but I think tomorrow I've got a plan. It's just so hard because I had Sloan here for 4 years, and I just knew Sloan, and I knew what I could do with him and how I could bring him in. It kept everyone happy, and I never had any problems. Since Sloan was the last horse at the barn that had been here since I opened it. He was here day 1, and now that he's gone, it's kind of like I'm in chaos. I mean, it was just like I knew what he was gonna do. I knew what I could do, and now that he's gone, I'm having to rewrite 4 years. Not fun. So you guys never get to see my other dog, or I don't think I've shown you guys him. So he's outside right now. We have to alternate turnout time. That's like a horse thing. We have to alternate when he goes outside, because If you guys have been following me for a long time, you would have known this. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I did not like kiss a random stranger or kiss gasoline. I put stuff on my lips. So don't think I'm just oily on my lips. But I think if you guys have been around for a little bit, you would know that I feel like it's been over a year that my dog Loki, that one trotting away, ended up, something happened with my other dog Cass. She plays like really hard and like almost doesn't play. Sometimes it gets pretty aggressive with her, especially with him. She doesn't do it as much to other dogs. But oh, there's Sky. She's just always happy. But something happened. I think she like almost grabbed onto his neck and like rolled him. And when that happened, he ended up like slipping a disc or rupturing a disc in his neck. And we had to go through this whole process of, you know, like MRIs, and it lasted forever. And then the surgery, everything, because they were kind of like, maybe wait and see, but he was in so much pain. Like, we honestly thought we were gonna have to put him down, because he couldn't walk. He was gonna be like neurologic. And then I'll never forget, because we had scheduled him to go up to have the surgery and everything to basically take the disc out. And my parents went away on a trip for the weekend, and I was home alone taking care of the barn and taking care of everything. And then like it got so bad that he couldn't move. He would just scream the whole time. And so I ended up being like, okay, I'm gonna run him up to the emergency vet at UGA, which where I live, UGA is like 2 hours away, but they are University, you know, University of Georgia and everything, and they have like the top small animal thing. And I remember I drove him up. It was a 2-hour drive during rush hour at like 5 p.m. I got to UGA at like 8 o'clock. It took forever to get accepted back into the surgery room, and then they did bring him back to like get examined and everything, because, you know, like I said, he was already supposed to have the surgery like in a week or two. And they ended up like looking at him, and they were like, he's so bad that he has to go into like an emergency surgery. So he went to the emergency surgery the day after he went up that I took him. But I don't remember, I didn't get back till like 11 o'clock at night. I had to go get gas at like some sketchy gas station at 11 o'clock, and I thought I was gonna get abducted. I didn't get anything to eat, and then I had to come home and still take care of my horses the next day. It was just so much. But needless to say, the surgery has like fixed this dog. He runs around, he's like a normal dog again. You know, he just has like a gap where the disc was taken out of his neck and his back. So we do have to be like smart. He's not supposed to like jump up and down from couches, so we can't go on the couch anymore. And he's really not supposed to play ball, but my dad plays ball with him. And we have found that as long as he goes out with Sky, she's our calmest dog, he's totally fine to go outside. So we kind of alternate like outside time. As long as Cass, that I think you guys have seen before, if Cass is outside, and then the two boys, which is Luke and Bo, the two red ones, if they're outside, he can't go outside because they play too hard, they play too rough. And the one thing is, there's nothing in that space where that disc was. So if something happened, if he got like hit again or wrapped up, he could easily, you know, pop another disc or something much worse. So he just goes outside with Sky, the one dog, and they're so happy. They spend hours outside. He loves being an indoor dog. Like, loves being an indoor dog. He just sleeps, and like every morning when I wake up at like 4:45 and I come down the stairs, he's on his bed, and I have like a cover or whatever, and I tuck him in every single morning so he stays warm, and he's just like the best dog ever. But if you guys have been around here for a while, you would know about that whole thing, because I was doing YouTube when this was all occurring, and that was an exciting weekend. So I'm about to head inside. It's just a little bit after 12. I've got my horses situated. I'm gonna go over there at about 1:30 and feed them because the vet's coming at 2. And there's a couple things she's doing today, like with teeth and horses, you actually sedate them. So there's a couple things that she has to do in that regard that I'm like, okay, I'd rather my horses eat a little bit earlier and get situated because they don't like to wait, and then the other horses aren't getting done. So I'm gonna feed them a little earlier. But for now, since I'm inside, I'm gonna grab something to eat, and then I am going to probably work on that wolf. I got a decent amount of the body done before I needed to go help my mom. So I'm gonna do that, see what I can knock out, and then the vet will come, and then hopefully I can finish some other things today. That's really wishful thinking. Alrighty, everybody, Two Bitty got his teeth done. Freya did too. They just came back down to the barn after getting sedated, and well, they look to be pretty awake. Freya got told she was too fat. So once I get through the holidays, I'll have to start working Freya so she can lose some weight. Two Bits was told he was perfect. Yes, Two Bitty. It's a little hard to get this on one hand. Alrighty, everyone. Two Bits has his mask back on. Freya's got her mask. Freya, I suppose this angle does make you look a little fat. She can't help it. She's not fat. You just don't see any ribs. And she seems to be good. I mean, she seemed pretty away from her sedation, and now she's back to eating. This is just some of her tooth particles. But she seems good, alert. Sometimes you don't want to feed them right when they wake up because they can choke. But she seems awake, hungry, ready to go. Oh, a lot of times people ask me about the fly mask, so I'll just explain that really quickly. Typically you would see horses wear this. Oh my gosh, sorry. A boy is calling Freya. But typically you would see horses wear this in the summertime and stuff to keep gnats out of their ears, because gnats like to go in horses' ears and bite them, or away from their eyes. The reason why I keep the fly mask on 24/7 pretty much all year round is because of the fact that a lot of these fly masks have UV protection in them, so it helps to protect their eyes against the sun, keeps out any unwanted dust particles, and this is mesh, so the horses can still see. It doesn't affect their vision a ton, but yeah, that's why my horses always wear them all year round, opposed to just in the summer. So I'm gonna leave her, let her eat, but I'll be honest, ever since I had foot slowing down, I haven't really thought that much about riding horses again or doing anything with horses, even though I have Freya. But I keep telling myself that once I get through the holidays and, oops, sorry guys, packing orders and customs, that I need to at least try and do something with Freya. I used to take her out for walks and everything around the property to get her some exercise so she wouldn't gain weight. But these last couple months with Sloan have just been so hard for me. And then I've been so busy that I always prioritize my work over doing things with her. So once I get through Christmas, I'm gonna try, or if I get done with my Christmas orders early, I'm gonna try and start spending more time with Freya and get her on her walks again, and then also just work on her manners, because of course since I haven't been working her manners have kind of gotten a little sketchy. She's not as nice as she once was with respecting me, but I need to try, once we get through Christmas, just try and do some things with her, because she's a really nice horse. If you guys didn't know, Freya was actually born in that stall, so I was the first person Freya ever saw. I took care of her when she was a baby and couldn't drink and eat. We had a bottle feeder every couple hours. So I've known Freya since she was literally born. So I just need to try and not put a lot of pressure on myself to ride. A lot of people have been telling me I need to go back to riding horses. I need to break Freya and ride Freya all the time. But I think I just need to try and enjoy horses again, away from the barn, and just like being around them and kind of just taking things slow, even if that means I don't ever ride again. I don't know, but just being around a horse, I need to try and not it be work, right, Freezy? Right, Freezy? But Freya seems good. She's eating well. I'm not really seeing any problems with her trying to choke. I'm not gonna worry about all this. That's just a dry, crusty tooth. It will just fall off on its own when she drinks. But I think I'm gonna go start working on the customs, try and get that wolf done, and because I'll be back out here in a couple hours to feed them again and to do the first part of night check. You look very beautiful today, Freya. She's not chunky. She is chunky, but it's okay. I'd rather you be chunky than skinny. I can't stand a skinny horse. No, no, Ribby, no. We live in the South, Freya. We're not supposed to be skinny. No. Yes. Oh, also, this is a fun fact for you guys. So Freya, when Freya gets old, will be white. She'll be white. So gray horses, like you can see, they are born black. So when Freya was born, she was jet black, except she had a couple gray eyelashes and some gray like around her feet. You can see, well, and she's got this right here. But as they get older, as they shed their coats, their white or gray starts to come through. So every time she sheds her winter coat and every time she puts on her winter coat, her colors will change. So by the end, she's going to be this color. Her mom was white and her dad was white. So she's going to be white, gray, whatever you want to call it by the end. But it's always so cool. Look at her mane. You can kind of see in her tail. It's supposed to be white, but it's yellow. But you can see how some of it's changing colors. Yes, we can see you, Freya. But she'll be white one day. So I thought that might be interesting, because I think a lot of people think white horses or gray horses are born gray, but they're actually born black. And she actually is retaining a good deal of her dark colors. She'll be 5 in May. And there's a lot of horses her age that are actually a lot lighter, but she is keeping a lot of this darkness. Dark. You have darkness inside you like your mother. Yummy, Freya. Well, everybody, I am back inside. So it is 4:51. I just took a shower. Can you tell? Am I glowing? It's actually just my skin being so dry. I'm one of those people that like has to take a shower every single day. It doesn't matter if I'm dirty. Like when I come in from the barn from doing my 3 o'clock stuff, like I have to take a shower. But it kills my skin. So horses are all good. I'm looking at Freya right now. I can see her outside of my window and she seems to be good. She's eating her hay. 2-Bit seems to be doing good. It's always like when you first wake up from like sedation, just like I think a person, you are a little groggy, but they seem to be doing good. So it's time for me to clock in, baby. So it's 4:51. I almost have this wolf done. So this is what I have of the wolf. This is that Madeline Mako pattern. I think I mentioned to you guys, I already have the fox done over there, but I needed to redo the wolf because even though I had one in my market bag, I used 18mm eyes on the one in the market bag versus this one. I need to do 16 because 16 is what the other one has. And I was like, yeah, I can't send 18mm. And they're supposed to be 16 because there's a difference. I must have just been on something when I made it. So almost got this guy. I just have to do a couple more rounds like with the head. I'll crochet the ears, do the snout. It'll be done. So this is one thing I'm definitely going to be able to check off my list. Now, I didn't think I had any sinker noses to get this dog done. This is another custom I have. And yesterday I went ahead, did the tail, the legs, the whole 9 yards. The only thing I want to do left is tack these feet. Pretty much I always tack anything with legs because they like to do this, even though they're pretty lightly stuffed. I'm going to tack it before I do anything. And I got the body done of him yesterday. I got the ears done. And the original pattern uses the sinker noses. I think I told you guys that. I don't really keep sinker noses. I honestly typically do felt. Just because for whatever reason, I can never get the placement right on sinker noses. So I'd rather like complete the plushie, stuff it, and then just put some felt on it. But I ended up finding these. Now I only have this like one size and I've had them for a while. They're just these like little kind of triangular ones. So I was thinking that might work and I might not have to wait until Friday to get those other noses in. Not saying like I'm gonna still order the other noses because it's kind of, it'd be good to have them I suppose. But I'm thinking I might be able to do the head with those noses, and then if it fits, all I literally have to do for that guy is the head. Sorry guys, I'm so popular. But the head, sewing the ears, and then sewing the head to the body and tacking down those legs, and then that's like another one done that's a ship. So I think that's gonna be my plan. I'm gonna try get that done. I think it's definitely doable, and that would be 2 Christmas orders off my list. So I'm gonna go ahead, get started on this. I'll probably check in with you guys when I actually am like done with this, but yeah.
What a distinguished young lady. Doesn't she have the prettiest eyes? Look at her. Sky, come here. Sit. No, no. Sit, Sky. Sit. Sit. Look at her teeth though. She has an underbite. She has an underbite, Sky. Oh my goodness. She has an underbite. She's like, girl, you smell like horse. Yes, Sky. And then Loki's probably out somewhere. That horse smell is too strong. I don't know what's up with her coat. She grows like the weirdest winter coat ever. She looks like a different like coat. Like, look at this. It's so different. It's so different, and she gets sun bleach because she stays outside forever. She loves to be outside from sun up to sundown, right?
Alrighty everybody, I thought I would show you guys my cat setup because I don't think I ever updated you guys on it. This is the cat stall. Oh, let me flip the camera so you can see. Everybody is in tonight, and so I give them treats, dry food, canned food, and squeezy thingies. Yes, BBB's looking at us. But this is their cat room. As you see, we have all types of stuff for them, and I made this, I think a couple months ago. Now, Honey, the one you guys see with all the spots, sometimes she doesn't make it into the cat room because she doesn't want to go in, but she's starting to accept the idea a bit more. If you guys didn't know, the whole reason we ended up doing the cat room was I ended up going to my dad a little bit ago and just asking him if he'd be willing to enclose the stall so we have chicken wire all around it, because the reality is, I need to put you guys down. Where I live, there's still land enough, of course because I'm on 20 acres, where we have a lot of problems with coyotes. And we started having issues with the coyotes coming up to the barn. And of course, having cats, that was a problem. As much as I wanted to believe that my little angels would not get out at night, they did all the time. And pretty much the reason for that is because my barn is not fully enclosed. Well, first of all, I have windows, but there's like space between my like rafters and everything. So it was super easy for the cats to basically get out. I mean, I can show you guys. Turn off their light first so they can calm down. I don't know if you can see right here, there's an opening right all the way down. So it was super easy. My cats can do amazing things. You know, all they do is like climb up and then jump off and on the window, and then they'd be outside. So, okay, nighttime treats. We started having a lot of problems with the cats getting out, and as the coyotes became a more and more recurring thing, I just started to get more and more, there you go, worried about something happening to them, a coyote grabbing them. I do so much for my cats that if something happened to them, I would be heartbroken. I don't think I could ever get a cat again. So they have the room now, and basically they go out in the room from about, let me think. They go in there when I do this check, so that's like 7:30, 8 o'clock, and we let them out about like 6:30, 7:30. I should choose where you guys can see me, so. And that has been the best way to keep them safe. They really are content in there. Like, there's so much stuff, but it's like a safe place that now that it's been up for so long, like even during the day, they'll go in there and sleep. Like, they don't really mind it, but it's fully enclosed. Like, once that door is closed, they can't get out. Nothing can get in, and it's the safest way that I know that like a coyote or a bobcat, because we have bobcats, I've seen them in my back of my property, like literally run right in front of me. We have them. They come up to the barn, they come up on my property, and that's the safest way I know that one of my cats won't get grabbed. And I know some people would be like, oh, well, they're barn cats or outdoor cats. These might be barn cats and these might be outdoor cats, but they're bougie cats, okay? We just need to get that on the thing. Like, I've never met a barn cat that gets canned food like twice a day, who gets treats, tons of treats. I just pour them out and they can eat as many as they want, get stew, they get dry food. I give them medication every 2 months for heartworm, fleas. I just don't know any cat, like barn cat, that's as well taken care of as our cats. We have heated waters for them, heated food. I mean, you can't lump these in with barn cats. So as much as people may say, like, I should just let them go free, I shouldn't do things for them, you know, whatever, if they get grabbed, like, I understand the concept. When, you know, I got them and everything, if you guys don't know, all of my cats were basically pulled from a euthanasia list. They were just deemed too unpredictable, too violent to go into a situation where they would be like in a home or around people. Of course, now my cats are fine. They're okay with me. They don't like other people. Well, they're good with my mom too. But like outside of that, nobody else can get near them. You know, they're still very aggressive towards them. But I know that a lot of people, like especially within some organizations, have just told me, well, hey, you know, this is like their one chance at living, and if they get grabbed by something, you can just come and grab another one. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't really want another cat. Like, literally all my cats' names make sense. I named Honey and Bee when they first came, so it could be Honey Bee as like one word together. And then when I got Bunny and I got Bumble, I did the same thing. I named Bunny because I used to call Honey Bunny. So I was like, oh, Bunny, she's the only like odd one. And then Bumble, so I could say Bumblebee and Bumblebee Honey. And I tried to choose words that had like similar like sounds kind of, so that way like bunny, honey all kind of have the same sound. So when I call them in at night, because they're usually still outside and I just scream their names, they all come running because it kind of sounds like Bee, Bumble. That's the only one that's a little off, but I love my cats. That's my little PSA. I know people haven't seen them recently because I have not been doing much vlogging like this. Like, I'm gonna be really interested to see how you guys actually feel about vlogs like this, where it's not so much crochet. I feel like a lot of people only come here for the crochet aspect of my life, which is like totally fine, I understand. But there is just so much else that goes on in my life that I don't show because I recognize that, you know, animals, barn, like that's not really what this channel is about. So I'm really interested as we go through Vlogmas, since you guys are seeing like so much more of just me and so much more of my barn. I'm interested to see if you guys actually enjoy it or not, because I have been told many times in the past that like people don't want to see anything about my animals, they don't want to see anything about my barn, and I'm always like, ooh, like that's literally what I do 24/7. I'm gonna turn the lights off so you guys can't see me, but I'll check in when I'm inside. So everyone, I am back in my room now. It is 9:09, so we still got a bit of work to do. I'll usually stay up until about 10:30, and then that's typically when I go to bed. But I did take a power nap earlier today. I was like crocheting and editing my video, and I just like bonked out. I'm not even kidding. Next one moment my eyes were open, the next I was waking up, and I mean it was just like 5 minutes that I was just like pretty certain I drooled a little bit. So there was that, but I feel rejuvenated by my 5-minute pass out, and wow, I'm gonna go till 10:30. But I wanted to show you guys that I did end up finishing up the wolf. My wolf looks different than my fox, but I think it's gonna be okay. So this is how the little wolf looks, and this is how the little fox looks. I think some personality is fine. And I think that's the beauty of like handmade items, literally. I tell people this all the time. I cannot make the same item look the same like twice. Once I make that first one, no promises. Just because there's so much variety and difference from like sewing, not sewing, how you do the embroidery work. So even though they don't have the biggest thing is just how I did the nose, I still think they look super cute together. So I'm gonna get the wolf cleaned up tomorrow because I did use parfait, and this particular skein was like one of the better ones that I've had to actually crochet with. I don't know about everyone else, but I have just been having so many quality issues with Premiere. And look guys, I'm good with shedding, like I understand it. My biggest pet peeve is the actual like quality of the yarn. And I guess this is just as somebody who runs a yarn business, as you guys know, with doing Knotty Pony. And since I personally like pick every single skein, if I feel a bad skein of yarn, I don't send it to people. Like literally every single one I go, okay, is it soft to touch? Like that's always my big thing, is how soft the skein is. And it just amazes me how many times I order yarn from these companies, and I'm just always so surprised how some of the yarn that I get sent like passes the quality, especially considering that it's becoming a very, very common issue. To be 100% honest, I've had a lot more problems with Premiere than I have had with Hobie. Honey Bunny is the other yarn I use because it's kind of like a similar size to Premiere Parfait Chunky, and you guys know I am like working on getting rid of all of my yarn back there. So I'm not buying yarn anymore because I would like to use my own yarn for the most part, but it is difficult when you just have so much yarn. So I am working through everything. But I've ordered a ton of Honey Bunny, and I've ordered a ton of Parfait. And I have consistently had more issues with Parfait than I have had with Honey Bunny. Now, I will be 100% honest, I got some trash, pure trash yarn from Honey Bunny the last time I ordered the black, that honestly I probably just need to throw away because it is like disgusting, like the bad Sweet Snuggles light. And I've also gotten stuff like that from Parfait and Premiere. So it just amazes me as somebody who does this, that like they don't take the time to just make certain a skein is in good quality, because like I couldn't consciously send somebody a bad quality skein and ask money from them. Like it wouldn't sit right with me personally. Now granted, I'm not a big corporation, you guys know, it's literally just me running Knotty Pony, and my mom helps me with packing and everything. And I'm not saying I'm a good business owner or anything, but I'm always amazed. So this actual premiere, the gray, I ended up finding some, so although I ordered more, I found like a bag, was good in terms of the like texture. Like it wasn't bad to crochet with, but man, sewing with it sucked. And I feel like that's one of those things with Premiere, is you either get it like really soft and then it just like crumbles on the string, or you get it where it is just like okay to sew, but it is the most starchy yarn you have ever worked with. So I'm happy to get these two done. I'm happy to get them off my books and to get them shipped out tomorrow is my plan. And so actually what I ended up realizing is I usually use 18 millimeters. These are both 18. I thought I used 16, and the wolf I have in there is 20, and I don't even know what I was on. I must have just been out of 18s, because I never use 20 millimeters really. I pretty much use a lot of 12, 14, 16, 18's kind of hit or miss depending on the size, and then from there I usually go up to 25, 30 with my safety eyes and everything. But yeah, so it is actually 18 millimeters, not 20 and not 16. I think you could get away with 16, like I think it would look fine, but 20 is definitely almost a little too big. So I have these two done. I've already marked them off my list, and so what I started working on tonight that I'm hoping to get done is the head of this dog right here. And if I can get this done and get it sewed up tomorrow, that's another thing gone. And then from there that I actually have knowing pending, I would have one more dog, and then I would have two Pokemon, a Psyduck and a Rapidash. Now this is actually for my vet who has been helping me, you know, with everything. Like she was out here today, and she's the one who's helped me with everything with Sloan. She wants to get a Psyduck and a Rapidash for her sons for Hanukkah. And so I asked her today what day Hanukkah starts, and she said the 14th. So it's the 3rd. I feel like it's definitely manageable, by like should be. So I have that one, a Gengar, and Rapunzel, and then Max the horse, and then a Leafeon, and yeah. So I just have like a couple, and then I have 2 website orders, being the Leafeon, and then the other website's just like 2 small items. So I feel like everything is very doable right now. I just need to continue to check things off my list, of course. So the dog is the next big thing, and I'm also trying to prioritize things that I know have like a specific time, or like if they need to ship. Like an example is one of the dogs I need to do, which is a bulldog with a lot of color changings. That person's picking it up. I have another person who is like my vet. She's gonna pick it up. Now granted, I do have to get it done by Hanukkah, so that's the only thing with her. The Gengar that I'm doing, same thing. They told me just have it done by Christmas. Rapunzel and Max, just by Christmas. So I am trying to prioritize the items that I know need to ship out first, just because I'm trying to factor in like the shipping time. And then the orders that are more of like local pickups, most of those people are like, as long as they can get it before Christmas, they don't necessarily care. And I always tell people when I do custom work to always give me timelines, because I'm a procrastinator at heart. And if somebody doesn't give me a timeline, it will just keep dragging on. So none of these people have given me any timeline, so I feel like I'm in decent shape. I'm really not taking on too many more customs right now. I have one person who messaged me tonight about doing a memorial piece. I've done 2 memorial pieces for them in the past of horses, so they asked me to do a memorial piece with another horse. And then I just have a really big order that I still have not gotten back to them about. It has just been really crazy for me. I'm really hoping to have all of the Knotty orders packed by Friday, and I feel like once that gets off my plate, I'm gonna be like cooking, because I'm gonna have so much more time to crochet. But as long as that's still there, it takes up a lot of my mornings. But I think that's where I'm gonna end this vlog right now, so I can get this head done and then make progress on sewing. But I will see you guys for whatever's next on Vlogmas. Bye!